It's a good idea to use vector graphics images in your Android projects because it can help lower the size or decrease the size of your APKs, and also helps with performance, and it sort of is able, because everything's specified as vector paths, it lets the application scale a bit better. So that's important when you're dealing with devices of various aspect ratios and things like that. So that's quite important. Okay, now how you can do this in Ubuntu. I use Ubuntu because I like free things. So I don't use Photoshop or anything like that. I use something called Inkscape on Ubuntu to help me create SVG files, which stand for Scalable Vector Graphics. And Android Studio has a feature that allows you to import SVG files directly, and it'll create an XML file from that. And yeah, it's very, very simple, and then it's in your app. You can use it as logos or whatever. In my case, I want to use this particular logo that I've got up in front of me, which I've completed drawing now. And there are a couple of things to do before I try import it. So first thing, I'm going to just make sure that the width and the height of my image specified in pixels. Android Studio seems to have an issue with you using a different unit of measure. It's also recommended to make sure this is a one-to-one mapping with the DP, the density independent pixels that you want in your app. So things are often specified in a DP unit of measure in your Android apps, and in my case I want a 200 by 200, so the one-to-one mapping between DP and PX or pixels, so it's 200 by 200 pixels because I want it to be 200 by 200 DP. Then there's a third thing you need to do as well, which I'll show you in a second, but I first want to show you what happens in my case if I don't do this third thing. So if I go across to Android Studio, you'll see that I want to access a drawable called logo, and currently that's coming up in red because that logo doesn't exist. So inside of res drawable, I'm going to right click, say new vector asset, and I'm going to just specify the name of this one. Not very well, there we go. And I'm overriding it just to say, okay, I want it to be 200 by 200 DP, and you can see I've selected local file SVG or PSD up here, in my case SVG. But have a look at that preview. It doesn't look very good. I'm getting things telling me that text is not supported, and you'll see even with the final attempt that I do with this, I get some warnings, but because the thing looks fine, I just kind of ignore them. But in this case, clearly there's something going very wrong here. It doesn't look at all like I wanted it to. My writing is missing. This big block is here, and it's just not looking good. So let's go back to Inkscape. I'm going to Control A for select all, and I'm going to go to path, and then object to path. You see there's a shortcut there, Shift Control C, but I'm just going to click on that. Okay, I'm going to save that. Now if I go back into Android Studio and I right click on drawable, new vector asset, I go back to that same SVG, and it looks a lot better. If I click next, then yeah, actually I want to just rename it to just be logo, so I can just rename it by going to the name there and just say logo, and then go next. Then if I say finish, there we go, and you can see the redness has gone away, and I now have my logo inside of res drawable. If I go inside there, it's a big XML file just full of all my paths and everything everywhere, and that's it. And if I run my application, it would come up, but I won't show you that right now. You'll see in some other videos. Alright, thanks for watching this video. As always, I hope you learned something. I hope you found it interesting, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.